I, 33M, accidentally found messages between my fiance, 30F, and her friend that make it look like they're planning to have sex when they meet up in a few months. What do? I've been with my partner for over 10 years. We've always been very happy together, never any real issues. We live alone in our own house, and we're both avid gamers, with PC desk setups in a corner of our living room each. For the last year plus, she's been working night shifts. So when she's off work, she's up all night on her PC while I'm asleep. She has one particular friend she made online a year or two ago, a male friend from elsewhere in the country she met via an online game. Now, I've never had any issue with her having male friends. Far from it, I've always felt very secure, even when she told me a while ago that her group of friends, including this guy, frequently have quite smutty discussions, talk about their sexual preferences, fantasize about fictional characters, etc., etc. Not an issue for me at all. It's all discussions, chatting, venting, etc. More recently, I've noticed her referring to this online friend in new ways, using Japanese words like anata, my dear, etc., or oni-chan, big brother. We both enjoy anime and have made vague attempts at learning the language in the past, so I know what these mean, of course, and I know she has a particular liking for hentai, or pornographic comics animation. It caught me off guard at first, but told myself it wasn't an issue. We're still happy together, and she's still as affectionate as the day we got together with me. One last background bit of note, over the last couple of months she's been planning a weekend trip later this year. Just her mom, and her sister. They're going to where this online friend lives, and she's going to meet him in person for the first time while they're there. She discussed this with me beforehand, and knowing they were good friends and not having any concerns at all, I said I was fine with it. She doesn't get to see her mom and sister very often as they live a fair distance from us, whereas we live quite close to my mom, so I see her fairly often, so I understand wanting some time just with them, as well as taking an opportunity to meet a friend. Background out of the way to the reason I'm concerned, last night. It was a fairly normal night at home. She wasn't working, so we're both in the living room, playing our games at our desks, having snacks, etc. While she's in the bathroom, I get up to take a few dishes through to the kitchen, and as I always do, go to her desk to get her dishes too, which is when I noticed her messages to her friend open on her screen, on some pretty intense erotic role play. I wasn't expecting to see that she was doing this while I was in the room, and for the first time I got a little concerned, which led to me sitting down and scrolling back through their messages. And earlier that same night, they had been discussing fantasies about what to do when they met up. Things like him asking if another friend of his could come along, and her replying, "I want Oni-chan all to myself." His response was along the lines of, "Oh? And what would you do when you get me all alone?" And then they got into what I think is pretty hard to misunderstand, graphic detail. I want to snuggle up and cuddle, in a way open to more possibilities. If my wandering hand found a tent, I'd keep wandering. It went on in this kind of vein, eventually getting quite explicit about what she likes and what she wants to do to him, before she then said they should stop as, "It's a shame he's not gone to bed yet." This being just before she went to the bathroom and I came over to her desk. So now I'm sitting here in the daytime while she's asleep, a bit shaken up and unsure what to think or do. I know I shouldn't have scrolled back through her private messages, but the fact she was talking about this with him while I was right there has really upset me. I wasn't aware she was in any way unsatisfied. Hell, even last night. The same night, earlier on, she was her usual playful self, coming up to me demanding cuddles, kisses, general affection, etc. But if I confront her about it, she could, quite justifiably, say I was invading privacy by reading the messages, despite what she was doing in them. My feeling bad about reading it is conflicting with my need to ask her what the fuck is going on. That rambled on a bit longer than I intended. I'm still pretty riled up. Thank you for reading anyone who read it all.